So the last exercise in the glute and leg series is a variation on a deadlift. And most of you know deadlift as being basically coming down from your hips with your back straight or slightly arched with both legs. Usually people do it with a barbell, sometimes with dumbbells. What we're going to do is do a variation of the same exercise but on one leg. So again, it's going to incorporate more balance, more core muscles, and so on. So for added stability and actually to make it a little bit easier, I'm standing on one leg, keeping my hands on my hips, and I'm just going to go down as flat as I can. I'm trying to, rather as straight as I can, parallel to the floor, and I'm trying to lengthen through my upper body this way and through my leg the other way. Trying not to open up the hip and rotate it. I'm trying to keep my hips square and squeezing the glute on the leg that's lifted. You can keep your arms back. Okay, so just make sure, you might want to do it in front of the mirror to see to the side, or even holding on. If you want to start holding on to something, a chair or even a wall, that'd be fine as long as you can master this movement. You come back up. If you cannot to balance, just put the leg down. But this exercise stretches the hamstring, stretches the glutes tremendously, and you will really, really feel it in the glutes. Okay, so I'll just do it a few times just so you can watch the form. It's a little similar to a warrior pose, balance pose in yoga. Okay, and if you want to hold that position at the end, that's even better. Squeeze the glute on the leg that's lifted. Make sure that leg is really straight. It's not just hanging somewhere there. You're really lengthening and lifting through that leg. Okay, and come back, and last two. Normally I would hold my head down looking at the floor. This way your head is aligned, your neck is aligned with your spine. I'm just trying to look here in the mirror to make sure that I'm showing you this whole thing correctly, but normally you would be looking at the floor. Okay.
Yep.
So as with the previous exercises, let's make it a little bit harder. I'm using half roll for this, and don't be afraid of the leg shaking. That's absolutely fine. Again, you might want to do it first, either holding someone's hand. Just make sure you go down nice and straight. I usually try to pick a point on the floor to keep my balance and something I can focus on. And lengthen up. Now, the clue again to this exercise is, remember, you are not sinking in and bending over. I'm always pulling my shoulders back and lengthening up, opening my chest, and then going down. And I try to come back to balance so I don't really put my other leg on the floor, just to keep this leg and muscles of this leg under tension for a little bit longer. And remember, this is challenging even for me, okay? It may not look it looks pretty easy, but your muscles are working like crazy. And last two. More, and just notice that I really come up all the way. I don't finish here, I come back all the way, pull my shoulders back, squeeze my glutes, and end up in a very, very straight position with good posture. It's important to do it every single time you finish a repetition. Increasing the difficulty, I'm using the kettlebell. You can use a dumbbell. I would probably start with about 10 to 15 pounds for women. Guys can lift 20, 30. I normally go up to 26 pounds with this particular movement, but I do have a lot of guys that cannot even do 15, so make sure you can do it without the weight and then slowly progress, because the idea is not to lift a lot of weight. The idea is for your muscles to work correctly. There are two ways to do it: same leg, same arm, or the opposite. The opposite works your glutes and your lats in conjunction, because these two muscles sort of work together. If you do it on the same side, it becomes just a little more challenging, but you have to counteract for that movement by not letting your hip rotate. So I'll do the one that is a little bit easier. Just bring that leg up, and you can touch the floor. You don't necessarily have to. I come back to balance. You can just put the leg down if that's too hard. I'm just trying to make it a little more challenging. Come back and extend. And I'll just do 4 on this side, then I'm going to switch to show you so we don't make it too long. This may seem a little bit easier for some people, doing it on the same side, same arm, same leg, but you have to remember not to let that hip open up. Okay, so if you can keep, maybe you can keep your hand on your hip and engage your abdominals. See, even I was shaking a little bit here. So just make sure you're nice and square. All right, so the last one, last challenge on one-legged deadlift. We're gonna do it on the half roll and with a kettlebell. Again, I'm just using 20 pounds here. You don't have to use much more. It's about control. It's about form, not about the weight here. So make sure you're balanced on the half roll, and then very slowly go down and come back up. Again, I'm making it a little bit harder by staying only on the one leg and lifting the back leg up. The higher you lift the back leg, the more stretch you're going to get in the glute of the muscle of the leg that you're standing on. And then if you want to switch, same leg, same arm. In some ways easier, in some ways harder. I would recommend doing it on the opposite arm, opposite leg, because you're going to get a little bit better workout for the glutes this way. Okay. So keep these exercises within 12 to 20 repetition range. You don't want to lift too much weight. These are not exercises for improving your strength tremendously, for increasing hypertrophy and building big muscle. You can get really toned, you can get much leaner, you will improve your muscular endurance for sure, and start with lighter weights, for sure, lighter weights. Make sure you can stabilize correctly and that nothing is hurting, all your joints are stable, you can hold the positions that I showed you before you move on to full range and increasing the weights.